Deep in the heart of the jungle, a story whispers on the wind. A story of gold, a city of gold. A legend that has captivated the minds of many for centuries. El Dorado. The name alone is enough to quicken the pulse, to ignite a fire in the imagination. It conjures images of vast wealth, hidden deep within the uncharted territories of the jungle. It speaks of untold riches, of ancient secrets, of a place where dreams become reality. A place where gold is as common as the leaves on the trees, and every corner holds a new wonder. But El Dorado is more than just a treasure tale. It is a symbol of the ultimate quest, a journey that tests the limits of human endurance and spirit. It is a siren song, a dangerous lure that has claimed countless lives in its pursuit. The jungle is unforgiving, and many have perished, lured by the promise of gold. For centuries, explorers, adventurers, and dreamers have been captivated by the legend of El Dorado. They have braved the unknown, driven by the hope of discovering the mythical city. Driven by ambition, greed, or perhaps a thirst for the unknown, they have ventured into the darkest corners of South America, risking everything in search of this fabled city. Each step forward fueled by the tantalizing possibility of unimaginable wealth. Some were seasoned explorers, their names etched in the annals of history. They meticulously planned their expeditions, leaving no stone unturned in their quest. Others were desperate souls, willing to gamble their lives on a whisper and a prayer. They ventured forth with little more than hope and determination, often meeting tragic ends. All of them, however, shared a common goal: to find El Dorado and claim its riches for themselves. Their stories are a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown. But El Dorado, if it ever truly existed, has proven to be an elusive prize. The city remains a tantalizing mystery, hidden somewhere in the vast expanse of the jungle. The jungle guards its secrets jealously, and the path to the city of gold is paved with danger, disappointment, and death. Yet the legend endures, calling out to those brave enough to seek it. The legend of El Dorado, like all legends, is a tapestry woven from threads of truth, exaggeration, and outright fabrication. It is a story that has captivated the imaginations of countless generations, each adding their own layer of myth and wonder. Its origins can be traced back to the Muisca people, an indigenous civilization that once inhabited the highlands of present-day Colombia. The Muisca were known for their rich culture and intricate rituals, which played a significant role in the birth of the El Dorado legend. The Muisca had a tradition of ritualistic gold offerings. These offerings were not just acts of devotion, but were deeply embedded in their social and religious fabric, symbolizing their connection to the divine. Their kings, known as Zipa, would cover themselves in gold dust and perform ceremonies in Lake Guatavita, offering treasures to the gods. This ritual was a spectacular display of wealth and reverence, leaving a lasting impression on those who witnessed it. Spanish conquistadors, arriving in the New World in the 16th century, heard tales of these rituals and the vast quantities of gold involved. These stories, passed down through generations, were embellished with each retelling, fueling the imaginations of the explorers. Their imaginations, fueled by greed and their own legends of golden cities, ran wild. The idea of a city made entirely of gold was too tantalizing to resist, and it spurred them into action. The story of the Gilded King transformed into the legend of El Dorado, a city made entirely of gold. This legend grew, becoming more elaborate and grandiose with each telling, capturing the hearts and minds of those who heard it. Word of El Dorado spread like wildfire, igniting the avarice of explorers and adventurers across Europe. The promise of unimaginable wealth drove many to embark on perilous journeys, hoping to be the ones to uncover the fabled city. Maps were drawn, expeditions were mounted, and the hunt for the city of gold was on. These expeditions were fraught with danger, as explorers braved uncharted territories and hostile environments in their quest for riches. But the reality of El Dorado, as the Spanish would soon discover, was far different from the legend. The Golden City remained elusive, a mirage that led many to their doom, leaving behind only tales of their failed quests. The quest for El Dorado became an obsession that consumed generations of explorers. One of the most famous was Gonzalo Pizarro, brother of Francisco Pizarro, the conqueror of the Inca Empire. In 1541, Gonzalo led an expedition east from Quito, Ecuador, into the unexplored depths of the Amazon rainforest. He was driven by rumors of a land overflowing with gold and cinnamon, a land the natives called Canela. Pizarro's expedition, plagued by disease, starvation, and constant attacks by hostile tribes, descended into chaos. He never found Canela, nor did he find El Dorado. Another notable explorer lured by the promise of El Dorado was Sir Walter Raleigh, the famed English courtier and adventurer. Raleigh made 2 voyages to South America in the late 16th century, convinced that El Dorado lay hidden in the highlands of Guyana. He never found the city, but his expeditions, documented in his colorful writings, further fueled the legend of El Dorado and inspired countless others to follow in his footsteps. The search for El Dorado was not a game for the faint of heart. It was a perilous undertaking that claimed the lives of countless explorers. The dangers were many treacherous jungles, unforgiving terrain, hostile natives, disease, starvation, and the ever-present threat of mutiny. Many expeditions, ill-prepared for the harsh realities of the South American interior, met with disaster. Supplies dwindled, morale plummeted, and men turned on each other in desperation. The jungle, it seemed, was a crucible that tested the limits of human endurance and sanity. Some explorers, broken by their experiences, returned home with tales of horror and warning, their dreams of gold shattered against the unforgiving reality of their quest. Others simply vanished into the jungle, their fates unknown. Yet, despite the dangers and the mounting evidence that El Dorado might be nothing more than a myth, the allure of the City of Gold proved too strong to resist. So, was El Dorado ever real? The legend of El Dorado has fascinated explorers and historians for centuries, sparking countless expeditions and tales of adventure. Or was it nothing more than a figment of imagination, a product of greed and wishful thinking? The stories of a city paved with gold have led many to wonder about the true origins of this myth. The answer, like the jungle that conceals El Dorado's secrets, is shrouded in mystery. The dense foliage and treacherous terrain have kept its secrets well hidden from prying eyes. There is no archaeological evidence to support the existence of a real city of gold. Despite numerous attempts, no concrete proof has ever been found to validate the existence of such a place. No ruins, no artifacts, no trace of the fabulous wealth that El Dorado promised. The empty treasure chests and barren dig sites tell a story of their own. Some historians believe that El Dorado was never meant to be a literal city, but rather a metaphor, a symbol of something far more profound. A symbol of the Muisca people's spiritual wealth and their connection to nature. This interpretation suggests that the true treasure was not gold, but the rich cultural and spiritual heritage of the people. The gold offerings in this interpretation were not about material possessions, but about honoring the gods and maintaining cosmic balance. These rituals were deeply embedded in their way of life. Others argue that El Dorado was a real place, but not a city. They propose that it was something entirely different from the grand metropolis of legend. They point to the possibility that El Dorado was a temporary settlement, a place of gathering rather than a permanent city. Perhaps a seasonal gathering place for indigenous tribes, where communities came together to trade and celebrate, where gold was traded and ceremonies were held. This would have been a time of great cultural exchange and communal bonding. This would explain the lack of permanent structures and the difficulty in pinpointing El Dorado's exact location. The elusive nature of El Dorado continues to captivate and mystify us, leaving us to ponder its true essence. While the physical city of El Dorado may remain elusive, its impact on history and culture is undeniably profound. The legend of El Dorado has inspired countless works of art, literature, and film, from Voltaire's satirical novel Candide to Werner Herzog's epic film Aguirre, The Wrath of God. El Dorado has become a metaphor for the pursuit of unattainable dreams, the seductive power of greed, and the dangers of obsession. It serves as a reminder that the greatest treasures are often not material, but rather the experiences we have, the lessons we learn, and the connections we make along the way. The search for El Dorado, even if it ultimately proves futile, can teach us about ourselves, about the limits of human endurance, and about the importance of balancing ambition with wisdom and patience. Even today, Centuries after the first conquistadors set foot in the New World, the legend of El Dorado continues to capture the imagination. The jungle, despite our best efforts to map and conquer it, still holds many secrets, and who knows what wonders might lie hidden beneath its emerald canopy. Perhaps one day the mystery of El Dorado will be solved. Perhaps a lucky explorer will stumble upon the ruins of a lost city, gleaming with gold. Or perhaps the true El Dorado, as some believe, was never a physical place, but rather a state of mind, a spiritual destination that each of us must discover for ourselves. Whatever the truth may be, the legend of El Dorado continues to beckon, a tantalizing whisper on the wind, inviting us to embrace the spirit of adventure and to never stop searching for our own personal city of gold. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed exploring the mysteries with us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Infinity for more intriguing discoveries. Let us know your thoughts and ideas for future videos in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. See you in the next adventure.